So on the Nintendo Today app today, at the time of recording this, you might be watching this a day late because I just posted a video, so I might have to put it out the next day. But on the Nintendo Today app at this time of recording this, they revealed some settings of the Nintendo Switch 2, and there's actually a couple really cool things I want to talk about that maybe some people would have missed. The main focus was on battery percentage and different things about that, and there's a really cool feature regarding that. But there's something else that I think people have been sort of, well, at least some people have been wanting since the Switch 1, and finally they're adding this feature. If you enjoy this kind of content, leave a like, subscribe for more, my friends. Let's go ahead, jump straight into this. Not going to waste any time. So let me throw up the first one up on screen, the first image. This is a screenshot from the video. It was kind of a short video. And so one of the options you now have is stop charging at 90%. And the reason for this is because if you charge your battery past 90%, it kind of speeds up the deterioration of a battery. So if you only charge it up to 90%, there's more of a longevity. So you can see the setting says shortens the amount of time the system can be used when while unplugged, but it can help reduce the loss of battery capacity over time. And this is an issue obviously with everything. You see with phones, if you have a phone, I'm sure you're very well familiar with how that works, and just devices over time, the battery just kind of deteriorates. So it says, even if turned on, the system may charge to 100% to ensure accurate battery level display. So it could still charge to 100%, but it'll either slow down once it gets around to the 90%, or it'll you know, again, it might charge past it, but it might just kind of stop around 90%, or at least slow the charge down once you get to that as well, they mentioned. So that's a good feature. I am curious, is that something that you guys may utilize, or do you just not really care that much? I don't really have too many issues with my Switch 1 battery, but then again, I did kind of swap switches a little bit kind of halfway through the life cycle for the OLED, so maybe that's why, but I don't know. I mostly play desktop. So there's a couple other screenshots I want to show you. One of them is blurry, the other one is not. So I'll throw the blurry one up on screen first, and you're gonna be like, why are you showing me the blurry one? Because this has to do with the lock screen. At the very top of the blurry image, you can see there's lock screen in sleep mode. So basically, if you put the switch to sleep, it'll lock the screen. Locks the system so that the same button needs to be pressed 3 times to exit sleep mode. The system won't lock while in TV mode, only while playing on the system screen. This is an option you can turn on or off. I don't remember if that's on the Switch 1. Then the non-blurry version is when we kind of scroll down a bit, and that is system lock. So now, again, I don't recall this ever being on the Switch 1. There's probably going to be someone that's going to tell me it was on the Switch 1. It was buried in the settings. I'm going to be like, there's no way. I've never seen that. But anyways, locks your system with a pin to protect it from people who don't play on it, right? You'll need to enter your pin when you wake the system up from sleep mode. So kind of like how you would with a phone, a tablet, other devices, have that option to awaken the Switch via a pin, which is really nice because, again, I've known people that, have lost their Switches, for example, and if you have that, I do wonder though, like if you do forget your pin though, how do you get into the system? There's got to be a way, right? Obviously. So even if you lose your Switch, I guess there is technically a workaround, but if you lose it temporarily, or if you just, someone's trying to like be nosy and jump on your Switch. I don't know what they're gonna like be nosy for. What are they gonna go? What games does this person have? You know what I mean? But either way, if you don't want people playing on your profile or whatever, or if you have, maybe your password saved on the eShop. I don't know. There's obviously many reasons, different reasons people could have, but the point is system lock is going to be a feature now, which I think is nice. I think there's people out there that probably really won't care about this, and there's people out there that'd be like, hey, that's nice. I'm glad that I can, put a pin on my Switch 2 console. So let me know in the comments below. What do you think about these two features? Do you plan to put a pin on your Switch 2 console? And do you plan to utilize the battery kind of saving, I guess you can say, mode of not going past 90% charge, sacrificing that extra 10% in order to kind of save your battery? At the same time, if you're only going to 90% to save battery deterioration, well, at least you at some point you can go up to 100%. And if your battery deteriorates, it's probably not going to go below 90% for many, many, many years anyway. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a point to it. I don't know, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this kind of content, leave a like, subscribe for more, and hope to see you soon in another one. Tell my friends, game on. See you guys later.